he's doing a lot of, like, what's the next move,
You might need bigger.
Because I do sometimes do a lot of, like, sequential things. Here, go do this, go jump over there a lot faster. So slowing it down, I have to be aware of what he's offering me when I slow it down.
Well, I mean, it's all about modulation. So I don't want my dog to be calmer. I want my dog to be able to modulate their emotional state up and down based on the task at hand. So it's up to them. So I'm not looking for calmness that, I'm looking for the emotional state that matches what we're doing. So he was showing me, I thought it was a really perfect emotional state. He was alert, he was ready, eager, he wasn't bland and boring, and yet he was showing he was within the capacity of thinking. So to me, that looked fantastic for what we were doing.
Okay, so you just said something really important, which was he was in the mode of thinking.
Does he not think? Does he get too high? Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
a concept I haven't.
Awesome. Okay.
So Deb, do you use any kind of a marker? Or,
The marker word?
yeah, do you use a clicker? Do you
Yep. So just keep working him. This is the problem with not talking ahead of time is now I'm talking when dogs are out there. So you pay attention to the dog. The great thing about clickers is when you're doing this minutia training, click, it's all like mechanical. Your voice isn't part of it. It probably, there's a quicker neurotransmitter from the brain to the fingers there is to the mouth. Maybe it seems that way. The problem is the clicker only has one word, and it's all or nothing. So you can't give this differentiation that you can with your emotional state. And the sound of the clicker creates a different emotional reaction from the dog. And the reason I know this is I use button clickers when I train freestyle. And I go to Michelle Poulet, or is that her name, how you pronounce it? I go to private lessons with her. And I'm baffled by, I'm like telling her, I'm like, in the last week, my dogs have started barking when working. And so we're trying to figure out what has changed. And I realized halfway through the session that I went from a button clicker to a box clicker. So we brought out a button clicker and my dog stopped barking again. So the box clicker, the noise of it created a higher state of arousal, not matched well for freestyle minutia. So that told me something about the clicker has only one word and one emotion. So the reason I like to use my voice, not only for the emotional modulation it provides, but you always have your voice. And you can bring it into the competition ring, you can bring it on hikes. And when used in the way that I'm going to describe over and over again, that it is second to the external reward. It's the second most rewarding thing your dog gets due to the behavioral chain lineage, right? And so it gets higher and higher and higher the more you use it consistently. Okay. Good. Yeah, so do some, yep. And if he's fine dropping the leash, you can drop it or take it off, whatever you.
It's just kind of heavy, so.
Okay. So will he send to a mark? So like. Good jobby. So this next time as you're walking to this, you're going to walk back to this mark. You're going to walk in that direction. You're going to look at this mark, and you're going to see, does he understand it when you are supporting it with body language versus standing still?
Say that again.
So this next time to this mark,
Walk.
yeah, you're just going to be, and you're going to be drawing a line, just looking at this mark and seeing, does he understand it with body language? And you don't even have to say it. Good. Okay, so this dog is saying, I understand we are moving in this direction. I don't have it on verbal cue yet, but that's fantastic. So you've got a dog that's driving to the mark with support. So this next time, go to that other mark and let him drive a little bit ahead of you.
Okay. Release. Mark. Yes. Woo, early yes.
Nice. Good. Okay, so go back to that other one. And now go to the center one. Just do a quick pause, don't reward, and then go to that third one.
So should he go? He'll step on the center.
Yeah, the second one, as soon as the second foot hits, you're going to say, you're good dog, and then you're going to release and go to the third one. Nice. Very nice. Okay, and then do the same thing coming back. Good. Good. So minor point, he released on motion, not the verbal. I don't care, right? The dog was taking initiatives, understanding I'm going forward from mark to mark. I consider that successful. That's just a handler error, right? That you know, for him.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, so what do you all think of the state of this dog? It's fantastic, right?
And I will tell you, in his first family dog one, he did not do shit.
Yeah, because
He didn't even focus on me long enough to do a single
super. So, yep. So there's a common thing with good dog trainers is we're talking to an instructor and we're mindlessly feeding, and we're missing out on really great communication that can be happening not only by, you know, being connected. Like I think most dogs would, if they were to get together and describe their handlers, they'd go, you know, little distractible when she's with other people. She really talks to them and ignores me. And boy, you should see her watching other dogs run agility. She's like, she can't get her eyes off the course. They would say all of that. So when I'm in a working environment, I try to pay attention to them. And I know people say, oh, when I disengage, I want my dog to disengage. For me, when we're working, I want us both to be connected, and I expect myself to be, where'd you go? Okay. Connected. Okay, good. So that's a perfect opportunity. So I have all these insights that come from observing teams. And one of the most startling insights I've had recently is about no reward markers. And I know that more studies show that you're better off not saying anything when the dog makes a mistake and only saying something when the dog does it right. I know studies show that, and yet when I watch teams, really good teams, it appears that the dogs are learning faster, the ones that get the neutral, the whoopsie word, and the positive. And I thought, well, why is that, since science shows us that it should be the other way? And I think the reason it is when scientists are creating studies, they're doing it in a sterile laboratory environment with clickers. There's no human emotion. There's none of that relationship going on. They're trying to figure out what the dog is going to do, you know, purely based on, I guess, neuroscience or behavioral sciences. But what I realize is happening with people who aren't saying the whoopsie word is the dog is making the error. They're ignoring the dog, but they're giving the dog all sorts of other communication. So the dog comes off the mark, and the person stands there. And the dog goes, oh, the standing there means I should stare at my person. And now the dog's not doing anything. Then the person steps forward, communicating. That's like